Welcome to the Hank Cisco show. This show is about getting to know you, about people living in Norristown and in the Norristown area. And we have people with some talent that maybe you don't know they're around, and so we want to get to know them. Now, I have two friends, very good friends. One I've known for many, many years when I was a policeman in Norristown in school, and I used to read about him when he was playing basketball for Norristown High School, and also I think it was Temple. And also my other guest is a baritone singer. I heard sing at an affair, and I said, well, geez, I think the people in the Norristown area should hear this fella, and he sings professionally. So, and you're going to hear something about what they do and what part they played in Norristown, that growing up in Norristown, and also our friend, the singer that is singing out of Norristown and making a name for himself. So I think we ought to start off with nothing like start off with a good song. And we have here my good friend Cameron Chandler, a baritone, and I like to introduce him like a fighter. In this corner, Cameron Chandler. And the song is American Dream.
Thank you, Hank. American dreams brought their ships to her shore. From over the world, people came to explore. In their hearts they could feel what their hopes would reveal. How we swell at the seas with American dreams. American dreams built this land that we love. Together we'll touch what we're now dreaming of. And it doesn't take long when the fabric is strong to give birth to new things called American dreams. People and time work with nature's design as they journey to make every dream come true. And when we leave room for the flowers to bloom, we can cherish the green along with the red, white, and blue. American dreams lift our colors on high to soar like a bird in an infinite sky. Together as one, we can reach for the sun, while the warmth of its beams light American dreams, while the warmth of its beams light American dreams.
All right.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Now I told you, and I have a little thing. Being a former professional boxer, I'm looking out for, also helping out with the community coordinator with Mike Grant, who is a heavyweight contender, and now I'm sort of not a manager, but a coordinator, and I like to see him move on. If anybody later on wants to get some information on how you get in touch with him, we'll let you know later on in the program. Now, my next guest, from Norristown,
Yes, sir, Rock.
Pennsylvania, And I used to give the height, weight, and, you know, like a fighter, but I didn't measure yet. Okay, so actually, Jim Wims, you know, it's a great fella. The family, I know the family for many years. So, and he's born and raised in Norristown, and we're talking about he lived on Willow Street, and then he lived on Arch Street, you know, and I lived in the same areas,
Yeah,
you know.
that's right.
So, he's a graduate of Norristown High School, but you know, he moved on. He got himself an education, which is very important, and that's one of the key things we're talking about. We're here in this beautiful school, Norristown High School, and you know, it's great to know that we have a graduate that now moved on. And I'll say a couple of things. He's involved with the asset of Montgomery County. It helps small businesses and training the small business people getting involved in business. Is that right?
That's
and
correct.
You can tell more about that. He's also president of Norristown Rotary at the Norristown Rotary, which is that's a pretty high rank here. You know, with the class guys that belong to the Rotary. You know, so and a lot of my good friends belong to the Rotary, and they do a lot of good work. See, and also he's president of the Norristown Initiative, and initiative is something that the town here that helps out in different areas. In fact, this Saturday we're going to have something in reference to school safety, and we look out to help with any kind of problems we can help solve here in the community. So, without further ado, Jim Wim, tell us something about yourself now. You were born in Norristown,
sir.
right? Whereabouts in Norristown?
Yes, sir. Montgomery Hospital.
Hey!
Yeah, Montgomery Hospital.
Montgomery Hospital.
Yeah, April 2, 1944. So
That's a good month.
We got another person born in April also,
April 11th.
obviously. April 11th, okay. But yeah, born and raised in Norristown, Hank. Proud of I call it my little town, and these are my roots right here in Norristown. I'm a product of the Norristown school system, and as difficult as it was, you know, we had to put up with a lot, because you go back 50 years, things are a little bit different than they are today, and but you know, thank God we have moved on, and things have gotten somewhat better. But again, love this town. I remember you when you used to patrol the streets on your motorcycle, and we were talking earlier how you had to kick-start it with your foot and whatnot. But had many fond memories, and when I talk to people about going back to the old days with community policing and whatnot, you know, all of us kids, we knew you. We knew Officer Ziegler, Mike Palladino. We knew all of these officers on the beat. Today, I don't know how many residents and how many of the children on the street would be able to identify individual police officers, and that's not a knock against our police department. I think that Chief Bono and his crew, along with Captain Willie Rochette, do a fine job. But and especially when you realize all that they're up against, and we're all grateful for all of them who literally put their lives on the line every day.
Right.
That they go to work. But in a lot of other ways, when it comes to police dealing with the community, we'd like to see more.
What other schools did you go to? I know you went to Norristown High School.
Norristown High School, Temple, and Temple University. Graduated
Right.
from Temple.
You played varsity with Temple?
I played all the 3 varsity seasons. You know, when I went to school, you can only play 3 years varsity. Freshmen were not allowed to play then. But I'm still the only player that led the team in scoring and rebounding all 3 years. So that's and I don't know if that will ever be duplicated. And had they allowed freshmen to play, it would have been 4 years. Because I was the leading scorer and rebounder of the freshman team.
Did you go to Rittenhouse Junior High School?
Went to Rittenhouse Junior High School.
That's
If you want to go all the way back, started with Hancock Grade School, the old Hancock.
Who was the
down
principal?
at
You
base-
remember the principal? Maybe some of the people in the audience will remember some of the names.
At Hancock?
Yeah.
Sure, Dick Constable.
Okay.
Dick Constable was
Right,
was the
right.
principal, and
They
he
were
was
Constable brothers. One
yeah,
was
one, and his brother Joe Constable was over at over at Washington,
right.
and but yeah.
Do you remember Rittenhouse? What was so different about Norris Rittenhouse? You know, we're talking
Well,
about
we had the rivalry with Stewart.
Stewart.
Stewart was across town. They were our crosstown rivals, and whether it was football, basketball, or track, baseball, we had that crosstown rivalry, and it was always good. And Rittenhouse, I just have a lot of fond memories. You're at that strange in between age, where you're not a kid anymore,
Right,
and you're not a young adult either, and you're in that in between formative stage, and we had just a great time. But my fondest memories, were of playing basketball, and our goal was to go undefeated with our basketball team.
Right.
And unfortunately, during the warm-ups down at Ardmore Junior High School, they had water on the court, and I slipped during the warm-ups and ripped my kneecap out, and my kneecap literally was slid all the way up my leg, and then they had to cut it open, pull everything back down, attach it to a plate, and sew me back up. Needless to say, that ended my basketball season for that year. And
so every time it rains or snows, it reminds you, right?
Well, it did for a while, but that weather vane left after a while. So that's a blessing, Hank. But
do you remember Joe Burnett was a teacher at Rittenhouse?
I don't. I remember.
He was the kind of guy. He used to have walk around a calendar in his hand, and he'd say, if you don't listen, I'm going to put a permanent wave in your skull. I mean, now today, he would be harassment. He would most likely go to jail.
Well,
so
that was Mr. Parenti.
Now you're also president of the Rotary Club. Tell us something about the Rotary Club.
Well, Norristown Rotary Club, Club in Norristown, is it's a community service organization, and we do a lot of things. We honor the students of the month from the various high schools. We like to recognize and honor academic excellence, and we want to promote that because too often, Hank, it's the athletes or the people in the band, and they get all the accolades and whatnot. We want to just let it be known that we want to recognize and applaud academic excellence as well, because again,
in other words, the Rotary Club deals with honor students.
Honor students.
And when I was a policeman, I dealt with honor students too. Yes, Your Honor, and no, Your Honor. So there's a little difference in honor students. Now, all right. Now, how about this initiative? Initiative in Norristown. Tell us something about that.
The Norristown Initiative is it's a grassroots community-based organization that's dedicated to the revitalization of Norristown, and we have several committees. And by the way, I wanted to congratulate you. You're one of our newest board members,
right?
And so you'll be coming on board. But we sponsor things like the trash cleanups. One of the problems that we have in the borough is the litter, and we're working with that on several levels, sponsoring cleanups and working with students at Eisenhower Middle School, and so we get involved that way. Also, we have the community forums that are sponsored almost once a month.
Right.
And they deal with issues that are directly affecting the community. And you've participated in some of the forums in the past. And in fact, this coming Saturday, there'll be a forum on school violence. And I see that you're on that panel
talking
as well.
Talking about school safety and violence and what problems, how we can help it.
And,
So-
you know, the only way we can address these problems is really to bring them out into the open and
Right.
air them, and then we can begin to do something about them. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there on Saturday. I'll be in England, so
Oh, my God.
I have to
Well,
ocean hop for.
Well, I'll give you a call and
for
tell you how
days.
things are making out.
Do
all right?
that.
Yeah, so, but I'll tell you what, now, my man, we're going to sing another song. You know,
Yes,
come
indeed.
on. And what are you going to sing?
Well, you know, Hank, I do a lot of seniors entertainment in the area, and so a lot of the songs that I do are from that generation, and I've grown to love them, and I share a lot of standards. I also sing in a jazz band by the name of Swing Shift, and we've done some performances in the area at Elmwood Park
Right.
several times. And, you know, I really enjoyed the experiences I've had with those fellows. My brother and a set of twins he played with over at Wissahickon. I was raised in Ambler.
Huh?
And Norristown was always a big
you're
brother
from
to
Ambler.
us. Yeah.
You're from Ambler, but you
And
live
I
in
played
Norristown
ball.
now.
We came over here and really, you know, played some ball with you guys, but, you know, we tried to hold our own when I was growing up. But, yeah, I played a lot of ball and had a lot of contact with Norristown. I really appreciated Norristown. But music is where I've found my greatest joy. And standards and jazz, I've sung on national radio with broadcast, and I've traveled the nation and out of the country with that broadcast, a religious broadcast. And but mainly nowadays, what I concentrate on is standards. I also do some sacred and classical and jazz, and, you know, just perform in the area whenever I can.
Did you ever take any lessons?
Yeah, I did. I went to college out in Indiana, and took lessons there. Lessons here in Philadelphia and the surrounding area. So yeah, so I'm a classically trained baritone, frustrated baritone. I always wanted to be a bass, but that's not the way it worked out.
Well, what kind of, and I was at, around Christmas time, doing some shopping. I bumped into a young fella that goes to Norristown High School. He said, and I said, do you sing? And he says, yeah. He says, I'm on the choir here at Norristown High School. I said, well, I told him about you, you know. And what kind of advice now? He said he wants to get involved with the choir, and he'd like to be able to sing and get on that show that's on TV. Was that the American Talent or something, whatever?
Yeah, Star
You know?
Search and
Right,
American
right.
Idol.
And so I said, maybe we'll start something in Norristown, the American Idol. We're going to put the Norristown Idol, you know. So we can start out with a little, not a talent contest, but a talent. We got a lot of talent out there. We've got
Yeah,
a
we
couple
sure do.
young girls that sing very good.
Yes.
And so, what kind of advice this young fella now? He's in high school and he wants to be a singer. What kind of advice you want to give him?
Well, Hank, what I would say in general is assess your talents, and also understand what it is that you like. If it's musicals, if it's opera, then begin to formulate a plan to actualize and build up for one thing, the skill, and then look for the opportunities. A lot of the times they'll open themselves up. You have companies, music companies or acting companies, whatever,
Right.
and you need to engage those and just get out there.
Right.
And you know, let the opportunities present themselves to you, but also be aggressive and search those out. And you know, a lot of sometimes you can't determine what's going to hit for you.
Right. Where you going to get a
So-
break?
So I would say the best thing to do is be happy with what you're doing,
Right.
and whatever happens will happen.
And sing anytime you have the opportunity.
Sing when you have the opportunity. If you
Right.
can do it for free, you'll
Right.
still
That's
have
right.
that you'll be on the edge. Just
watching
don't
it.
let that seed fall to the ground and die.
I was watching this Michael Amante. He's a young singer on TV. I think he's great. And he said, I sang any place they asked me to sing. I go into a restaurant and I would sing, you know, so. But another thing, you got to have the right contacts, too.
That's right.
And always remember what Cisco said. If you want to walk on water, you got to know where the rocks are. So make sure you see where the rocks are before you walk. Now, how about give us another song here while we're...
All right.
getting ready here with Jim.
Here's one of the doozies I came in contact with a few years ago by the name. It's called Summer Wind. The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song, then we strolled that golden sand. Two sweethearts sang the summer wind. Oh, like painted kites, those days and nights they went flying by. Yeah, the world was new beneath a blue umbrella sky. Then softer than the piper man, one day it called to you. Then I lost you to the summer wind. Oh, now the autumn winds and the winter winds, man, they have come and gone. Now still the days, those lonely days go on and on and on and on. Guess who sighs his sweet lullabies to nights that never end? I think of friend, the summer wind. The summer wind, warm summer wind, summer wind.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent.
All right. Now back to you, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Norristown is moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Some of the things that are in store, they're building a new building,
Yes.
made in Swede. What do they call that now?
The DEP building that will be built there, and you know, the good thing about that, Hank, is that it will bring 300 to 350 new people into the downtown area of Norristown. And of course, you go back 50 years, and there was no Plymouth Meeting Mall, there's no King of Prussia Mall, and Main Street was the place to go, and it was quite a bustling business center. And we'll never get back to what it was, but we'll have a great improvement over what we have today with the closed shops and whatnot, because there has to be the infrastructure to support that many new people coming into downtown, new parking garage with retail space on the first floor and whatnot. So I'm happy to see all of the things that are
Well, you being
going
involved
on.
with the Rotary, the Rotary, they help in certain way different communities. But the initiative is a key thing that is the sole purpose is to help motivate and create and do things for the community.
Yes, that's
And
correct.
so I think that's good, and you're a good leader, and I think that's important. I'm glad that I'm coming aboard.
We're glad you're coming
And,
on board.
But we'll rattle some cages, because I hate to go to another town. So where you from? Norristown? Yes, I'm proud. I'm proud of Norristown.
Right.
Wherever I go,
That's right.
I'm very fortunate in my police circles. I travel quite a bit. around the country, and I always say, it's big cities sitting next to me there, guy from Los Angeles, Chicago, and I always get up and say, I'm from Norristown, Pennsylvania, the largest burr in the world. I give them a title. That's what they want to hear. They don't even know what burr is. Yeah. But be proud of what you are.
That's right.
And
That's
where
right.
you're from. That's
right.
Very important. So, and I'm glad that you're involved in that, and because you're a Norristown guy, and you're motivated to do things for the community. See, and
well, it comes out of a sense of giving back, Hank. As I said before, I'm a product of this community, and it was a great community when I grew up here, and it was a little bit different in that you knew my parents, and so there was always a check and balance. Right. So if I was on West Marshall Street or down on Main Street, I knew I couldn't act up, because if you saw me, then it was all over, okay? Right. And if there wasn't a telephone, you'd go to the house and talk to the parents and other people in the community. If they saw your children out there acting up and acting in a manner that they shouldn't be, they would talk to the parents, and that's the way we did.
You need that communication.
You do, and things
I
are
had
better
a boxing team too.
Yes, you did. I remember that.
And
I remember that. By the way, Hank, I got to tell you this story. I wanted to box in the worst way, because my Joe Louis was a huge idol. You remember how big Joe Louis was as heavyweight boxing champ.
Heavyweight champ.
And I was just so inspired by him, and I wanted to box, but my mother says, you're not going to box. She says, I didn't carry you 9 months and bring you into this world just to watch somebody beat on you in a ring. You are not going to box. And actually, so I never boxed with your club. With Jeff Jount and Ralph Marston, some of the other guys here in town, we did have our own little boxing matches with the 8-ounce gloves.
Right.
But I was not allowed to participate in the PAL program. Now, my brother Oscar did get around that.
Yeah, I had the first PAL in Norristown, right at City Hall. And I had these fights in school. We'd have fight after school, 4 or 5 police cars, and so what I did, I'd ask the teacher to have boxing gloves. If 2 guys want to fight it out, well, I'm going to fight according to rules and regulations. I'll referee the fight. You really don't like each other? You want to fight that? No problem. I give you a mouthpiece, 8 gears, and box, and I'll fight to the finish. Okay, so I had him down. I took him down my gym. All right, put the gloves on. All right, I said, now look, I'm going to fight to the finish now. You don't like him. He don't like you. Okay, good. You're going to fight to the finish. Now, there'll be no bell or anything. Okay, so blood comes out. So I'm kind of scaring them a little bit. So next thing, they're looking at each other with the gloves, ready to fight, ready to go. And next thing, I said, now, are you ready? I said, or do you want to talk about it? And, well, next thing you know, they shook hands and they didn't want to fight.
Right.
But they wanted to fight when they knew they could be outside, out in the street where they could get hundreds of kids could come over. Hey, so-and-so's going to fight. So sometimes I always have to use this here when I was a policeman. Some of these guys, they dress tough, talk tough, act tough, and they can't lick a postage stamp. Okay? So that don't mean anything. Now, how about another song? We got time for another song here, don't we? Right.
All right, Hank. We have a couple of minutes. Oh, this comes from, this song was made popular by Mr. Billy Eckstein.
Oh, my man.
So I'm going to take you back a couple of years. There's a real rich heritage in the black community as far as talent is concerned, and I know there's a great heritage in music here in Norristown because I've been here for about 8 years and I run into it. It's tremendous reservoir of talent. But I want to take the folks back here to a song made popular by Mr. Eckstein, Everything I Have Is Yours. Everything I have is yours, you're part of me. Everything I have is yours, my destiny. the stars that shine, everything that I possess, I offer you. Let my dream of happiness come true. I'd be happy just to spend my life waiting at your beck and call. Everything I have is yours, my life, my just to spend my life waiting at your beck and call. Everything I have is yours. The dreams I dream, the schemes I scheme, I love. Thank you.
Okay, that's great, you know. And you better learn a little Mexican song, too. You know, we got quite a few Mexican coming to Norristown.
Vaya con Dios.
Yeah. What is it?
Vaya
Go with
con
God.
Arriba.
Go with God.
Okay, whatever. But, you know, we have, it's been a pleasure, you know, here talking to two friends and like have to someday come back, you know, and sing another song. Jim, you know, you keep up your good work, what you're doing here in Norristown, and I'm just, like I said before, I'm happy to be aboard and working together.
Thank you, Hank. I'll do my best.
And I know our good friend Dr. Holton, you know, he's always standing by, helping
Yeah.
out, and it's former superintendent of the Norristown School District, you know.
By the way, he's our Rotary Club president next year also.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yes, it's great. So I want to thank the listeners for sitting there listening to our talk, and
I want to say thanks, Jim.
Yes. I want to say thanks to you,
that's
Hank.
thank
Thanks
you
for being here.
to our guests, the
Appreciate being here.
Norristown School District. Is there anything you want to say last minute?
Just thanks again for being here. It's a privilege, and you know, go Eagles and go Norristown.
Eagles.
Good, yeah, right. Okay.